dealing with a witch.
From hard hats to steel-toed boots.
Yeah, Debbie, I've seen the two wolves that you sent me. Yes, I've seen. I'm looking for something to watch on YouTube. What are you up to? I'm also drinking tea. Yes, science is good. Science is very good, and I'll show you why. Yeah, soup. Them them wolf dogs would make great soup. I agree. That was a robot. Soon there will be no need for you. Yes, puppies, not soup. All right. Are you making puppy soup? Puppy soup. You go for it, sister. I know it's in your heart to go raise them pups. Go raise them. Give me my T Rex back and I'll take care of that. And you go take care of them Siberian wolf dogs. It's in your heart. It's your calling. You're like that Jurassic Park woman. Well, you should go buy a couple, Debbie. Let's check out Uncle Eddie.
Taxi. We're going to Olympic Studios in Barnes in London, which is where I did a lot of recording in the early 60s. Jimi Hendrix and the Stones and occasionally the Beatles. When he played the guitar, there was a unified body of work. It's the guitar, the hands, the heart, the brain, it all became one. And then when he played a chord or played a solo, it was so telling and so vibrant and so unusual that people just were attracted to it. My job was to capture the sounds, and Chaz kind of left that up to me, and then Jimmy and I sort of got into it. You know, it was always a challenge because Jimmy would go out in the studio and do something with the amp, and I'd run and have a listen. Then I'd run up to the control room, do some fast twiddling of knobs and put some reverb, some compression, some EQ on. And then he would come in and have a listen. Oh yeah, all right. Then he would run down into the studio, and it was like we kept upping the ante. Working with Zeppelin was a different kind of a challenge because here was a band.
Yes, Miss Debbie, it's cool. Them wolves and dinosaurs are cool. And I know I started talking about them, but I wanted to just show the AI part that he was talking about. All right, now what we're watching now is Eddie Kramer and his plugins that he created. He's got like 4 of them. I think I got all 4 of them, or he's got 5. I got 4 of them.
That was a 4-piece, and an amazing singer, an incredible drummer, a really powerful guitar player, and of course the bass player, John Paul Jones, had this symphonic background because he was a classically trained musician. So the soundscape was bigger, certainly heavier. That's for sure. I mean, Zeppelin is known for their heaviness and also their delicateness. And there's an interesting parallel between their dynamics and what Jimi Hendrix would do and what Zeppelin would do. In the Waves Artist Signature Collection, we've created this very, very cool program so that you can turn one knob and you can get a sound just like Jimi Hendrix. And you can turn the knob again and you'll get a Led Zeppelin sound. Well, I was working at a studio in LA with the product manager from Waves, and we decided to put together this series of plugins that reflect some of the sounds that I've created over the years in a simplified form, so that the average user starting on his or her computer could hit one button, and bang, there is an Eddie Kramer snare sound, there's an Eddie Kramer vocal sound, bass sound, guitar sound. That's the essence of what we try to create. In creating the vocal plugin sound, there are certain frequencies that we wanted to roll off and certain frequencies we wanted to accentuate. Not only that, we also want to be able to compress that vocal and give it the right amount of compression so it's not out of hand, that it just gives you enough squash that when you put it in the mix, that the vocal sits nicely. Then you also want to be able to give it a little bit of reverb, just a touch, just enough so that when it sits in the mix, it's not this dry, dusty thing. It's got to have some life to it. When one thinks of a guitar amplifier, there are just so many different ways to go. What sort of guitar is it? Is it a solid body? Is it a semi-acoustic? What kind of amplifier? So I went for the general overall rock sound that people identify me with. And whether it's a Jimmy Page type sound or a Hendrix type sound, I went for a sort of general punchy EQ type sound in the mid-range. Compression, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of slap echo as well, which is something not many people use today. But it does impart something analog to it, although we've created it digitally. As far as the bass guitar is concerned, what I did was I went into the Waves Vintage plugins and incorporated some of those sounds to get me that real low mid-range punch around about 200 cycles. Use some of the sophisticated compression that's available from the Waves plugins, and made a series of sounds that when you hit that one knob, you're going to get a mammoth bass sound. I found that the fact that I was able to think analog as I was creating the digital sounds, I kept thinking analog, digital, analog, digital. How can I make that comparison? And I was able to mentally switch between the two. For instance, if I was putting up an analog sound and I wanted to make sure that the digital sound was exactly the same, I'd make this mental switch just fast back and forth. And then as I was making the comparison, I said, you know, that the digital sound is just as good as the analog sound. And that's what I was after. Well, I think these Waves plugins are going to be great for the top professionals, you know, who just want to hit a button, bam, all right, that's going to help my mix. That's fantastic. And the kid who's starting out, who's maybe 15 years old and just messing around the computer and downloads his stuff and goes, wow, that's so cool. Oh, I can get a Hendrix or a Zeppelin sound. I love these plugins because it enables you to eliminate the days going in the studio trying to figure out what the snare sound's all about, what the bass drum sound's all about, and where do I put the hi-hat, and where's the overhead mics, and what's the EQ and all of that. I've done that. I've got a fantastic bass drum sound. It's all carved out and it's got the right punch in the mid-range. It's got the compression in it. I've done the same thing with the snare. It's got a lovely bite to it and it's very clear in your face. The hi-hat's crisp, and then there's that lovely spread on the overhead. So when you hit that plug-in, I've done the work for you. I've been very, very lucky with the Waves guys because we've done tours of the US showing how Waves works for the average person, for the top engineers, for the top producers. We've used Waves with Apple Logic, and that was an incredible thing where we had a live guitar player on stage showing exactly how my sounds work with Waves, with their plugins, with the reverb, and it was
I do agree with Mr. Kramer. Like I said, I got like 4 of his plugins and I got 1 of his guitar pedals, which are rare because they only made so many guitar pedals. He made 3 guitar pedals and like 5 plugins for the studio. So I got like 4 of his plugins, and then I bought 1 of his floor pedals to plug into my amp. Which I can't find them little suckers anywhere. And they're so small. It's hard to find anyone to work. It's like this, I don't know, man. But I agree with them. Them plugins sound great. I use them in my stuff. Although I recorded the music wrong, right, coming right out of the amp or my guitar effects pedal into the interface, which that was wrong. I shouldn't have did it that way. I guess I needed a DI box or something like that, they said. But I agree. Them plugins sound great. You know, I noticed anything Waves does sounds pretty good.
Very, very exciting and very challenging for me. In my opinion, I mean, they really do make the best plugins in the world, bar none, in terms of the quality. And I wanted to go with a quality company. If I was going to attach my name to anything, and my signature series, which is coming up, I just want to make sure it's the best it could be. And so far, the experience has been fantastic. Their attention to detail is incredible, and nothing gets put out unless it's really, really right. And that attracts me tremendously. The Eddie Kramer Artist Signature Series is something I've been looking forward to for an awful long time. Working with the Waves guys has been absolutely fantastic because they've challenged me and I've challenged them. And I think what we've come up with is something that when you plug this in and you hit that button, you're going to go, wow.
Yeah, I got them too. Got them too. I don't have this. I don't have that one. And they're missing one. The Kramer tape. I got that one too. This one right here. Ooh, I got this one too. The CLR. That's the Chris Lord Angel plug-in. I think I got that one. I spent probably.
Want to know how the Elvive Hyaron Pure technology works on your scalp? Imagine this is your scalp. We add oil to simulate an oily scalp and pepper to simulate impurity. You clearly see how it purifies your scalp.
With 12 grams of protein in every serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings.
Today we're going to take a look at the Kramer Tape Machine plugin by Waves. And I'm going to show you all the different things that you can use it for in your recording.
True Sound Studios is in your ears.
Okay, so we have our Waves Kramer Tape Machine pulled up here. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is how versatile this thing is first we're going to put it on some acoustic guitar. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the tape speed to kind of round out the high end. You're going to hear a decrease in the treble, the brightness of this acoustic. So, you know, a flip of a button, but essentially what it's doing is by decreasing the tape speed, you're not cramming as much information on there. And one of the things that you kind of lose is a little bit of that brightness, some of that like top end. And so this is great, you know, on maybe snare drums and claps and things that are too bright. And you just kind of want to, you know, get that little bit more warmth out of a track, whatever it may be. So that's the first thing that I use the tape machine for. The next thing we're going to do is on a female vocal tape, because there's actually the tape heads are down here on a real tape machine. And there's 3 different tape heads. There's the record, there's the play, the record, and the erase. I believe that's how it goes. But there's actually a physical difference in between all 3 tape.
All right, so I have that plug-in too, this tape machine. Which that thing sounds great too. That thing works pretty good too. And I think I waited and got all my plugins from Waves during Christmas time. That's when they really go on sale. And sometimes you can get a deal. You buy two and you get one for free. So they were having a sale on all the Eddie Kramer ones. So I bought them. And then I went into Sweetwater and they actually had the effects pedals. He made 3 of them. And I ended up buying one. And it sounds pretty good. We're going to end this video at 30 minutes. You know, I think they tried to marry me to something. Some kind of a demon or Jezebel, or I don't, it's almost like a soul, a family member or something. It's very sick what these people are doing. Excuse me. Yeah, I think something evil's going on. No, I don't want to be married to anybody. No, I don't want to go on a date with a cousin or anything. These people must be related to the Shell family or something. Something ain't right around here. All right, Debbie, what are you doing tonight? No, you don't say. Really? All right. Yeah, they made a woolly mammoth. Ain't that something?
Going to talk about details here. Oh my goodness. He has been charged. The comedian known as Russell Brand has been charged in the UK. Multiple counts of very egregious charges, very bad charges centered around women. Women, you know some of those type of charges. R-A-P-E. R-A-P-E. He's been charged with R-A-P-E and S-A charges. You know what S-A stands for. Come on in. We're going to have a conversation. Keep this going because this basically broke. And I saw this coming. I saw this coming for Russell Brand. He's had some allegations thrown at him in the past. controversies in the past. Some people like them. Very popular on YouTube.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this video. You folks have a great night. God bless everybody. Talk to you later.